Welcome to It Was Never You, where we talk about narcissism, complex PTSD, and recovery. So I was asked, can you change a narcissist? Covert, overt, can you change extroverted, introverted? Can you change a narcissist with love? I would say that you cannot change somebody. You can't change somebody's nature. So what do I mean by that? Meaning this has become more than just behaviors, more than just actions of jealousy, pride, anger, entitlement, low empathy, of feeling as if the world owes them something, the entitlement. It has become who they are as a person. And that is why it is so difficult, because you're actually talking about somebody who kind of lives in an alternate reality where they perceive situations themselves in a manner that is contrary to how other people see them. So you have so whether or not they know it, they suffer, they have very low self-esteem, even though the perception is they have high self-esteem and they think that they know everything. It's not. It's a wounded human. That's not to say that what they do is okay, but this is that construct. That is what it is. It is very, if you try, it's almost as if you try to break the chains of who this person actually is and has become and show them, they will implode. They won't be able to exist anymore. They cannot. I have yet to meet somebody who is toxic, able to look at themselves and make a change. So there's a guy, Sam Vankin. So he says he acknowledges that he's a narcissist, right? But even with knowing his behaviors and in knowing how his behaviors affect other people, instead of trying to alter or change his behaviors and things that he does, he found somebody in his life that is okay with who he is. You understand? They don't feel they have the need to change who they are, whether they acknowledge it or not. You're dealing with somebody who this defines who they are. These behaviors define them. Their reality is different. So do I think that I think that children, or if you're in a relationship with a narcissist as a spouse or a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever it may be, what keeps you going is that carrot at the end of a stick. So they know when you're pulling away, they know when you have just had enough, and then what they'll do is they'll dangle that carrot in front of you, and they'll give you a little crumb of a taste of it, and then your hope rises up again, and then your expectation rises up again, and then you think that they've somehow realized how they've been treating you and how badly you've been hurt, and that they're gonna make a 180 and just be the person that you've always wanted them to be. And it usually ends up in a letdown. So it's that expectation of somebody changing that hurts us, because they have not changed. Their behavior, it may be cyclical, where they go through times of being terrible and then they'll be good, and then you say, okay, maybe this time. And it's that hope that keeps you. But I think we have to face this with a reality. If you, evidence-based, have years and years of evidence of dysfunctional behavior, and this person saying sorry and not making a change after that and just continuing the same cycle, the evidence would point you to that this person is not going to change their ways. They're just, this is a cycle. Why am I in this cycle? If this is an adult relationship, what happened in my childhood that caused me to not understand where I stop and where somebody else starts? My boundaries. Where are the kinks in my armor, the kinks in my boundaries? What do I need? What red flags do I need to look at? What red flags do I need to not ignore and understand this person for who they are and not who I want them to be? Because we can try forever and ever to change people, but if something has become who they are as a person, I honestly don't believe that there is any way that the person can change unless there's something radical that happens and it just alters their nature. But and again, this sounds negative, and it's not meant to be negative. It's meant to be reality, because you have to look at the past and you have to look at evidence. And that's not to say that we shouldn't have hope for people. But, I mean, if it walks like a duck, it talks like a duck, it most likely is a duck. And I think what we take personal is we think, well, I wasn't able to change this person. And then they'll give you the impression when their relationship is over and they moved on to somebody new, then you'll see all on social media how they're being so perfect, and they might message you and say, oh, well, this is the person I've been waiting for all my life, and I love this person, and I've never loved anybody like I love this person, and it was you, leading you to conclude that it was you that was faulty. It's fake. It's fake. It is fake. It was never you. You just need to fix your boundaries, your trauma from childhood, if there was any. Help yourself so that you don't get into the same patterns over and over again, and that you don't ignore the red flags, and that you don't ignore what is right in front of you for the sake of wanting someone to be who you need them to be. We need to kind of make ourselves whole and understand our identity and understand what we stand for and who we are as a person, and build yourself back up in order for you not to fall back into the same trap and the repeated cycles over and over again, because it does become cyclical, especially if you've had been raised in a home with a narcissistic parent. The cycle will just continue.